Evening. The next 30 seconds or so just to grab any props that you might want to have for practice. Just so you know where we're heading. We're going to start with a flow, and then we're going to finish practice for like the last sort of 15 or so minutes with a yoga nidra. And for the yoga nidra, you might want to have like a blanket or an extra layer for warmth. It could be a duvet, it could be anything you've got within your space. And for your yoga nidra, you can lie down on a mat, you can lie down on a bed or a sofa or whatever. So just so you know where we're going, we are going to finish with a lovely, sumptuous and relaxed, deeply restorative yoga nidra. And just a caveat, I'm still recovering from COVID, so my voice sounds a little bit funny. I may cough, and I apologize for that. Try to sort of let that go. And if I come out of a pose, it might be so that I can speak rather than sort of using my bodily energy. So yeah, focus less on sort of what I'm doing, and I'll guide more with my voice this evening. And so we'll start together seated, and just coming to a comfortable seated position. And as you find your seat, and that can be any comfortable seat, you know, you could use a cushion, you could use a folded blanket, something like that. We're not going to be here too long, but just finding a comfortable, perhaps supported seat. And then just taking the next minute to just arrive into the body, and just starting with a gentle inquiry, and noticing as you arrive into your seat, what are the layers that are distracting you? And the forms of distraction might be thoughts, might be the mind still whirring away with whatever has gone just before you came to the mat, whatever has been going on earlier in the day, or it might be thoughts of what's to come, what's ahead. Notice, are there any other layers of distraction? Perhaps the mind is being distracted by, perhaps it feels a little bit of discomfort. It feels uncomfortable seated, whether that's a tightness or a tension in the body, or whether that's some pain or discomfort somewhere. Just starting to notice these distractions, these layers of distraction that the mind is kind of having to have this sort of internal battle with for attention. Or it might be an emotion that's present, or a particular feeling related to your day, your week, or other events, external or internal. Just starting to notice all these layers of distraction that make up the sum of our parts of our experience day to day. And then see if you can start to kind of almost like find your way through those layers of distraction, and bring your awareness to your breath for a moment, and start to really find presence in this moment and ground by bringing your attention and awareness to your breath, and using your breath to help gather you and your consciousness in this present moment. Just breathing slowly and easefully, and just bringing awareness to the breath, so that the breath keeps bringing you back into the present moment. And those layers of distractions, they'll keep drawing your attention away. They'll draw your attention out. See if you can keep gently nudging your attention back to your breath. And so we'll continue this. We're going to transition to tabletop now, so that we can start to ease the physical body. And the reason that we have asana in yoga is so that, and asana is the posture. But the reason we have the asana is so that we can ease the sort of physical tension and discomfort that distract us. So as you find your tabletop, You might want to bring some extra comfort to the knees or any other part of the body. And then as soon as you feel ready, again, stay connected to your breath. So keep using the breath to draw your attention inwards, away from all those distracting layers of thoughts and memories, emotions, maybe feelings in the body that are distracting at this point. And then start to flow through cat and cow. So let's start to ease the physical body. And as we start to ease the physical body with our physical practice, that allows us, that physical layer of distraction, to slowly start to dissipate, start to release its sort of grip on the mind, so we can then turn our attention inward to the self. So flowing through cat and cow with this intention to ease the physical body, of course, but also to help you to start your journey inwards, to help you start to connect inward to your breath and the flow of your breath. Let your breath be slow, steady and easeful. And apologies if I cough or my voice goes at any point. I am still recovering from COVID, so I may need to sip some water or take a pause. So I apologize in advance for that. We'll take about 2, maybe 3 more cat-cow flows here. So easing, of course, a lovely spine from tailbone to crown, but also this easing of the body to start to bring your attention inward, away, letting go of the external distractions that take us away from ourselves. From your tabletop, bring the left hand to the center of the mat, and then reach the right fingertips to the sky, open into a lovely twist here, and then we'll take it as a flow. So it's really like inviting to ease the body here. So inhaling perhaps as you open and expand, exhaling as you twist and you release. And just keep this flow going with your breath as the pacemaker. And our aim, of course, is to ease the body, to start to open it, to release those distracting layers, those sensations of discomfort, whether that's tightness or tension or something else that's present in the body, a slightly different sensation that may be arising. Maybe a sense of contraction or holding, or stiffness. We all have our achy parts. We all have our more stiffer, crinkly parts to our body that find it harder to release. And then just switching the hands over when you're ready. So right hand roots, left fingertips to sky, and then start that lovely flowing twist on the opposite side again, just starting to invite a little bit more ease into the physical body with this gentle flowing movement. And the body responds really kindly to fluid movement. So that's why we started here, with this fluid movement that's governed by the wonderful pace of the breath. Just allow your breath to be really slow and steady and easeful, so that the breath helps you remain present, but also calmer as well. When we breathe slow and steady, the mind and body follow. After your next twist, bring the hands back into your tabletop here. We're going to step the right foot forward, bring the sole of the foot to the ground, and then we're going to take a little bit of a flow from our lunge into our back of leg stretch. So you might need to shuffle a little bit with your positioning, whether that's bringing the back knee forward, further back, whether that's bringing the front foot a little wider so you feel you have a greater foundation. It might be the addition of a prop. So if you've got yoga blocks, you might use them. You might use books or anything that you've got in your space. And then start to find this lovely flow. So starting with the lunge, so you're opening into the front of that left thigh. And then rolling the hips back enough so that you can keep the heel grounded, but lift the sole of the right foot. Coming into that beautiful stretch for the back of the leg, particularly strong in the calf and the back of the thigh here. And then just keep flowing between these. So flowing between that lovely lunge and that back of leg stretch. And you'll be moving, flowing within a range of movement that feels right for your body. You can always make little micro adjustments. Bring the foot and the shin closer or further away from each other. You can use props as much as you need to. We're just starting to, again, just ease some space into the body through gentle movement. We'll take this one more time. And then next time the foot is on the ground, rise up into a higher lunge, lifting the heart and the head. Hands onto the thigh, and just pausing here for an extra breath. And then release the arms alongside you and just reach the fingertips to the sky, just to open the heart space here. And then bringing the hands down into blocks or the mat. And then step this right foot all the way back to the back edge of the mat. And here, with the hands on the earth, fingertips spread wide, we're going to come straight into our tiger from here. So on an inhalation, lift that right heel, hover it hip height, toes flex towards the shin. And then when you feel ready, really engage those right hand tiger claws and then extend the left arm. And as you find your tiger balance, again, keep nudging your awareness back to your breath. The breath is going to help you to be present, to connect inward, to start to let go of the external distractions. And then sensing another breath or two in your tiger. And then bring the toes to the ground of that right foot. And then take a gentle twist, opening to your left, and you reach the left fingertips up to sky. And your gaze can either be forward or your gaze might lift towards your top hand and fingertips. And just breathing here for a few moments in the twist. And then as you bring the left hand down, bring the left hand down underneath the shoulder and then slide it just a little bit further forward. And then roll onto the heel of the right foot, so the foot, sole of the foot meets the earth. And then that left shin might swivel out. It might be on a diagonal, it might be parallel. You'll find what feels right for your hip. And then start to open and reach the right fingertips to sky, when we'll meet together in our 3-point base of our modified plank, side plank. And you can either choose to keep the right foot grounded here, or you might hover the foot and keep it in line with the hip. And then just sensing again your breath for a moment. And our mantra for this practice is so hum. So repeating silently in the mind with each inhalation, so, and with each exhalation, hum. So hum. And then on your next exhalation, bring the right hand down, return to your tabletop. And then you can just press the hips back, just pause for a few breaths in your earth pose. Bringing forehead either to the ground itself, a prop, or the back of the hands. And then taking one more breath as you are. And then rising back up. And then this time we'll step the left foot forward. And then switch side. And as we step the left foot forward, again, you might have blocks, hooks, or you might just have like spider fingers on the earth. And again, find that right distancing between the front foot and the back shin. So you can start to flow from lunge, low lunge, to that back of leg stretch. You might take props with you. You might just have the fingertips grounded to the earth. And just find a flow that feels right in your body. And really starting to invite space into the right thigh. And inviting some space into the back of the left leg. So starting to ease the body with some gentle flowing movement within a range that feels right at this moment. Remember, you can always make little micro adjustments as you move, as you flow. So our aim here is to just continue to ease the physical body, so that those distractions of tension, tightness, stiffness, achiness, all those layers of distraction from the physical body that distract the mind, they start to slowly dissipate as we practice. And that, as they dissipate, it means that we can start to connect in with and begin to remember the self, the true self within. And whenever you notice the mind getting distracted, just gently nudge it back to your breath, and your breath will help you find presence. And then next time you're in the lunge, again, just rise up with the heart and the head, pausing for a moment. And then when you're ready, reach the arms alongside you. And on an inhalation, reach the fingertips to sky and just open the heart space. The gaze might lift here. We'll sense just a few more breaths in this moment. You might repeat the mantra so on the inhale, hum on the exhale. And then as you bring the hands down and you return to your tabletop, extend the left toes right to the back edge of your mat. Tuck the toes under and root first. And then when you're ready, lift that left heel so it's hip height. Engage the tiger claws of your left hand. And then when you're ready, grow long with that right arm and fingertips, finding your tiger balance on this side of body. See if you can keep the mind focused by focusing on the breath here. Even though there is physical challenge and energy required to remain steady here, see if the mind can be with the breath. And then as you bring the left toes to tuck under, take a gentle twist to your right, reaching the right fingertips up to sky. You might gaze to the side, or your gaze might lift as high as the fingertips. And then after your next exhalation, bringing the hand back down. Again, as that right hand meets the earth just under the shoulder, slide it just a little bit further forward so there's a bit more space. And then you can bring the left heel down and then start that again, that lovely transition to your side plank on the right side this time. And then once you have your 3-point base, you might change it up a little bit. You might lift the extended foot, roughly so it's in line with the hip, give or take. Or you might keep the foot grounded. Sensing how is your breath. Noticing any distractions, be they thoughts, memories, sensations. See if you can bring your focus to your breath and your mantra. So, and then returning to the earth with through your tabletop, and it's just pressing the hips back, just maybe for a few breaths in your earth pose. Just before we continue our flow in just a moment. And so hum is the mantra which helps us to reconnect with the inner self. So represents nature or body. And hum represents the spirit or consciousness. So it's this harmonizing of nature and spirit, or harmonizing of body and consciousness or spirit. And it helps us connect inward rather than focusing on the external distractions, be they other people, be they distractions from our own sort of bodies, memories, etc. So rising through table, we'll start to continue our flow. And so just tucking the toes under, when you're ready, rise into your down dog, and we'll pause in down dog just for a few moments. Again, inviting some ease into the body. So whether that's for you, that's bringing the feet wide apart to start off with in your down dog, or it might be a bending of the knees. It might be a pedaling through the heels. It might be a widening of the hands, or perhaps a narrowing of the hands. It might be a spreading of the fingertips. It might be a softening of the elbows. Maybe a releasing of the shoulders away from the earlobes. Perhaps it's a reaching of the tailbone to sky. Whatever helps you to start to ease your body. And then when you're ready, we'll walk the feet to meet the hands in our forward fold nearer the top of our mat or space. Pausing just for a moment, again, is an opportunity to find some physical ease here. Maybe that's a letting go if there's tension around the head. Is there tension in the neck that might begin to start to release, or the shoulders? And then yogi's choice here, you can roll up with a rounded spine, keeping the knees bent, or you can rise up with a straight spine if you know that that's better for your spinal health. And we'll meet together in a few moments in our standing mountain, and there's no need to rush that transition. I'm just going to change my camera angle a little bit for our standing flow. And then meeting together with our hands together at our hearts in Namaskar as the palms and fingertips meet together. And Namaskar literally means the bringing of the hands together. I learned this the other day, just through reading. And so we're going to just lift the palms above the crown. And we're just going to start with our swaying heart. So just flowing from one side to the other a few times. Again, just inviting ease. And this is particularly inviting ease into the spine here. So we spend a lot of time sort of moving the spine forward and back. But actually this lovely lateral flowing side to side movement, really beneficial, especially if there's like achy, creaky parts of the spine. This lateral flow is really helpful for that, as well as our twist. And then we'll take a forward fold again, slowly to the earth, taking your time with this. On an inhale, take a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, refold, hands to earth. We'll step the left foot back to the back of the mat and bring the knee to the earth, and then rising up into your heart open lunge here. And we'll just pause for a few rounds of breath. And again, just notice if the mind is distracted in any way. Be it thoughts, be it physical sensations, be it a sort of doing, planning something or analyzing something. If the doing mind is active, you can help it relax and bring your focus to your breath. Bring the hands down, frame the front foot, step back either to plank or a tabletop plank. And then lower to the earth. And take 3 rounds of cobra, flowing with your breath, slow and steady. No rushing the cobras. And then yogi's choice, after your 3rd steady cobra, either flow upward into your down dog or flow to the earth into your earth pose for a few moments. Just a few moments, pause in either down dog or earth pose. You might repeat the mantra so on the inhale, hum on the exhale. And so hum helps us, reminds us of the inner self. Letting go of all the distractions that take us away from ourselves, from the person or being or that we truly believe ourselves to be. And then from here, we'll prepare to step the left foot forward, so the back knee will be grounded, right knee grounded this time. And then again, rising up into your heart open lunge for a few rounds of breath. Breath slow and easeful. So on the inhale, hum on the exhale. And then on an exhalation, bring the hands down. Step forward to your forward fold. On a strong inhale, rise up with a strong straight spine this time. And then lift the palms all the way above the crown. And then take that lovely swaying heart, flowing from side to side, at least 2 to 3 times each direction. When you've balanced both sides of the body, we'll take that forward fold again to the earth, this time stepping the right foot back, knee to the earth, rising up into your lunge, heart open, fingertips to sky. Let the breath anchor you to the present. Let the mantra help guide you inward. Letting go of all these external distractions that busy our lives, even if it's just for the next few minutes or your time on the mat. Bring the hands down, yogi's choice, plank or tabletop plank, lowering to the air. Again, taking 3 steady cobra flows, rising into your cobra and releasing from your cobra. And after your 3rd steady cobra, either flowing upward into your down dog or flowing to the earth, into your earth pose, just for a few moments. What would ease your body more? And when we ease the body, that's when it stops giving us all these sort of annoying distractions. Oh, I'm achy here, this hurts here, I feel stiff here. So all these little distracting little signals of the body, the idea is that our physical asana practice helps to ease those so that we can start to bring our attention inward again, listening to our heart space, which in yogic philosophy, the heart is where the inner self is said to reside. This time we'll step the right foot forward. Left knee will be grounded, rising up when you're ready. Open the heart, breathing here, steady. Making any little micro adjustments so that your open-hearted lunge is even more easeful. And then on an exhalation, again, we'll bring the hands to the earth, tuck back toes, step forward to your forward fold. On a strong inhale, rise up, and as the palms are above the crown, again, keep them there above the crown. So open heart, and then come into tree on the left-hand side when you're ready. You might bring the heel to meet the opposite ankle. You might bring the foot to the lovely soft belly of the calf muscle, or maybe the thigh muscle. And with our namaskar above the crown, pressing the palms together so they're in harmony, helping us center, balance. Maintain a steady drishti and maintain a steady inward focus of breath. Are you really present in this moment, or is the mind taking you elsewhere? Bring your palms down to your heart space there. In yogic philosophy, the home of the inner self. When we connect to our inner self, that's when we're really listening to our wisdom, our intuition, our instinct. And then release that foot to the earth. Just come back to your standing mountain. Both feet rooted, and then as the feet press down, again, return the palms above the crown, pause there. And then when you're ready, come into tree on the right-hand side, keeping your drishti steady, your breath anchoring you to this moment, helping you to be present. If the mind gets distracted, whether that distraction is a physical sensation, perhaps a little bit of adjustment is needed, but maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just the mind unnecessarily, by habit, returning to a particular part of the body or sensation. Perhaps the mind is distracted by thoughts, just nudging it gently back. So hum. Bring the hands to the heart space. So hum. And so hum's literal translation from Sanskrit means I am, or I am that. And by I am, it doesn't mean the ego self. It means the true self, or the inner self of love and peace and joy. And then releasing, grounding both feet. Again, lift the palms, keep them pressing together. Take that lovely swaying heart at least 2-3 times in each direction. 2 to 3 times, sorry. Grounding through the feet, but opening the heart space. And then once you balance that both sides, then again, take a forward fold slowly to the earth. This time, stepping back with both feet either into your plank or your tabletop plank. And then again, flowing to the earth, flowing. This time, just one cobra this time. Rising into your cobra, perhaps pausing in your back bend for a few extra breaths. Just pause and be in this moment. And then when you're ready, yogi's choice, whether you rise into your down dog or you settle on the earth into your earth pose. And we'll meet together in a few moments. So whether you're in down dog or you're in earth pose, keep gathering your awareness with your breath. Notice when the mind starts to get distracted. All those external layers, whether they're physical things, whether they're thoughts or memories. When we start to planning what's coming next, or we start analyzing what's going on, or we start worrying or remembering. Whenever you start to notice the mind start to move into these processes, start to gather it back at the heart space and your breath. So we start to move away from this sort of doing mind into this being presence. From here, we're going to make our way gently to seated. You might want to have a prop here, a cushion, a folded blanket to sit on, so that your seated posture can be easeful. If your back is achy, you might sit, say you're close to a wall, and you have the support of the wall to help your posture. Or you might sit on a cushion or folded blanket. That will help your posture by lifting the hips up a little bit, lifting, having this upward drawing of energy through the spine towards the crown. And so from here, in your comfortable seated posture, whether that's Sukhasana cross-legged, whether that's kneeling or butterfly or legs extended, just bring the fingertips to the earth, either side of the hips or thighs for a moment. And let's just return our attention inward. So we continue to remember the self, bringing awareness to the breath that helps us to anchor, to calm, and to find presence. Perhaps repeating the mantra, so, on the inhalations, hum on the exhalations. So hum, reminding us to reconnect with our inner self, our true self. With the left fingertips on the earth, reach the right arm up and over. Come into that lovely lateral stretch here for a moment. And then take this over to the other side, slow and steady. And then transform this lateral stretch into a twist as you twist to the left, perhaps bringing the right hand to knee or outside of thigh. And maybe gazing beyond the back shoulder. And then on an exhalation, steadily twist to the right. Perhaps bringing left hand to right thigh or knee and maybe gazing just beyond the back shoulder. Then on an exhalation, releasing the twist and then extending the left leg long. And we'll be in half butterfly for this. So I'm just going to change the camera angle a little bit so you see my feet better. So from here, you want to be able to extend the left leg long. And then the right knee is in a half butterfly. So the sole of the foot is on the inside of the leg. So I just need to get a drink for a moment. Take note of your spinal posture. So you need to grow taller with the heart, crown. Turn your gaze to your left toes and root. And then from here, you can either keep the heart and the crown lifted and the fingertips grounded, or you might hinge forward with the heart and the crown. Notice if the spine starts to really curve, and then maybe ease a little bit. Really sensing, okay, in this moment, how can you ease your physical body? Whether that's a softening of the knee, whether that's supporting the hip, whether that's softening in the spine or around the heart. Perhaps that's checking in that the breath is still soft and slow and flowing. That you're not folding too far, but you're in that just right position with the body. And if you're in the hinge, on your next inhale, start to lift up with the heart. And we're going to bring the right hand behind us on the earth. Engage the tiger claws. And bring your left hand to the heart. And then just lift the hips and come into a modified wild thing. And then your left fingertips can just reach up towards the sky. As you just open here, modified wild thing, so that left foot is grounded and the right shin is helping you lift. And then come down steadily back to the earth. And then lift the right knee. And then this foot will either be on the inside or you might step it to the outside of the thigh. And then grow the spine. On an exhalation, take a twist to your right, using the left forearm to hook and support and hug the knee to the heart. And then you might gaze to the side or you might gaze beyond your back shoulder. And once you've found a shape that's helping you to find ease in the body, notice if you've traveled maybe a little too far with your rotation, and perhaps you can ease off a little bit. And then when you're ready, returning your attention inwards, remembering the self, remembering your heart space, your breath, and your mantra, so hum. On an exhalation, take a counter twist to your left, steadily and easily. And then releasing the twist and coming into full butterfly. So soles of the feet are like pages of the book, knees wide, hands resting somewhere on the legs. And you have two variations to choose here. So you might keep the heart and the crown lifted, maybe fingertips on the earth, helping you grow your spine. Or you might choose to take the variation of folded butterfly, bowing the head beneath the heart. Choosing whichever variation feels right in this moment and allows you with ease to sustainably be in this posture, this shape. Taking note of whether the mind is distracted or whether the mind is very present in this moment. Mind might feel like it's still in its doing modality, its sort of default mode. Or it might feel the counter, it might feel very present, very aware. Or it might be sort of somewhere in between, noticing distractions and then coming back again, moving away and then coming back again. If you're in the forward fold, begin to gently release. And then this time we'll extend the right leg long. I'll come into half butterfly on the left-hand side. Turn a little bit with the heart and the gaze to the toes, and then rooting here. Again, you have that option to hinge forward from the hips, coming into sort of a gentle forward fold, if that feels right. Notice if the mind is distracted by perhaps the ego mind wanting the body to go further, whatever that means, or is distracted by a particular sensation. Is there a way that you can ease the body so that that sensation is less distracting? Or is it possible for the mind to kind of let go of that distraction, actually? Be present with the breath. If you're in the hinge, start to lift the heart. And then this time, left hand behind you, tiger claws engaged, right hand to the heart. Rise up, lift the hips. Feel a strength of the buttocks sort of squeezing, helping hug the hips upward to sky. And this right fingertips might reach the sky for a few moments as you open into your modified wild thing. And then when you're ready, steadily come back to the earth. And then as you lift this left knee, the foot can either be on the inside of the thigh or you might step it to the outside of the thigh. Keep that growing tall through the spine. And then on an exhalation, twist to your left this time. And here your gaze might be to the side, or it might be beyond your back shoulder. Notice if the body feels at ease as much as possible, within reason. And then gather your attention inward to the flow of your breath. Breath, the rhythm of life. Sensing the flow of the inhale, the flow of the exhale. On an exhalation, take a counter twist to your right for a couple of breaths. Useful breath, useful twist. And then as you release the twist again, returning to butterfly just for 3 or 4 breaths. We will keep the heart above the head above the heart. Just finding a sense of balance in the body between right and left. Perhaps repeating the mantra so on the inhale, hum on the exhale. And then we'll transition to the earth, and we'll take just one more asana before we transition into our Yoga Nidra. So as you start to gather to the earth, you might grab socks, a blanket or extra layer for warmth, cushion or pillow, anything that you'd like to have for your Yoga Nidra, your longer guided meditation, lying down. And then come to lying down on your back and bring the knees and hug them into the heart. So it's a supine earth pose. And you can either choose stillness here, or you can take little rhythmic rocks from side to side if that feels comforting and it feels more easeful for the body. And we're just going to start to ease our way into our Yoga Nidra. And so before we start to settle into physical stillness for Yoga Nidra, at this point you might take a supine twist in each direction, if that feels good. You might take some circles with the ankles and the wrists to ease the lovely joint spaces before you start to settle into stillness of the body. Or taking any final stretches or movements that you sense your body requires in this moment to find pardon me, a sense of ease. And then we'll start to slowly wind down the physical movement. And we'll sit together in our Yoga Nidra nest. So coming to lie down now, winding down any movement, releasing from any final asanas, shapes. Making sure you feel warm. Making sure you feel cozy here. So our Yoga Nidra, we want the physical body to feel at absolute ease. You want to feel warm and comfy and snuggly, so that the physical body isn't distracting the mind. There's not a niggle here or some discomfort there, because we've helped the body to find ease. And we lie down in the most comfortable way. So for some of us, that might be lying on our backs. For others, that might be lying on our sides. Or it might be having the knees bent rather than the legs long. And then I invite you to close the eyes when you're ready, and if you feel comfortable. If that feels uncomfortable, instead, you might like to just have the eyes just sort of looking downwards softly, not at anything in particular, so the eyes aren't having to do any work. And so we'll begin to journey into Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is a state of deep rest and healing, and is when we truly connect with the inner self. And so as you invite your physical body now to really rest, taking any last little wiggles, any last little readjustments here and there, so that there's no distractions from the physical body. You feel, or the body feels effortless, peaceful, comfortable. Gently bring awareness to your breath for a few moments. Noticing the flow of your breath, breathing this body. Invite the breath to be natural, to be unchanged by the thinking mind, so that the breath is also restful, effortless, calm and gentle. Breath is a life force that invigorates, Noticing the inhale flow and the exhale flow. We'll begin a rotation of awareness or consciousness around the body. Inviting the body to rest even deeper, to rest even more soundly, more peacefully, and more quietly. Bringing awareness first to the eyebrow center. And then from the eyebrow center, bringing your awareness to the base of your throat. Awareness with the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, and each of the tips of the fingers of the right hand, beginning with the right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, third finger, and littlest finger of right hand. All the fingers, the whole right hand, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, the whole of the arm resting. Bring the awareness back to the throat center and then across to the left shoulder. Awareness with the left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, third finger and little finger. All of the fingers of the left hand, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, the whole left arm, resting, quiet. Bringing awareness back to the throat. And then bringing the awareness down into the heart space. From the heart space, bringing the awareness into the navel, center of the belly. And then bringing the awareness down into the pelvis, the center of the pelvis. And then across to the right hip, awareness with the right hip. And then bringing the awareness down into the right knee, right ankle, and all the way down to the tips of the right toes, and each in turn, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and little toe of right foot. Awareness with all of the toes of the right foot together. And then journeying up through right ankle, right knee, right hip. Across and through the pelvis and the center of the pelvis, bringing the awareness to the left hip. Awareness with the left hip. And then bringing the awareness down to the left knee, left ankle, and all the way down to the tips of the left toes. Left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and little toe. All of the toes together of the left foot. Left ankle, left knee, back to the hip, back to the pelvis, the pelvic basin. And then bringing the awareness back up through the navel. And then bringing the awareness all the way up to the heart space again and resting the awareness at the heart space. And as you rest awareness at the heart space, we'll return to the mantra So Hum. With each natural inhalation, repeating silently in the mind, So. With each natural exhalation, Hum. So. Hum. So. Hum. And repeat it. And repeat it softly and kindly, as though befriending your own heart space with the mantra, So Hum. Reconnecting nature, body, with spirit, consciousness. So Hum. So Hum, helping us reconnect to our inner self that resides in the heart space. So Hum. And repeating So Hum 3 more times with your breath. So Hum. As you release the mantra, maintain your connection and awareness of your heart space. Reconnecting with your true and natural qualities of this being. Reconnecting with the qualities of the true self. Joy, love, peace, kindness, compassion, gratitude, humility. As you reconnect with and awaken your heart space with your awareness of your heart space, connecting with the inner self, love, joy, peace, compassion, kindness, gratitude, humility. Remember these qualities of the true self as you begin to slowly and gently return to the external. Remember those qualities, remembering the true self, remembering who you really are. Hold on to this loving presence and carry it with you into the remainder of this evening and the days to come. Begin to notice the feeling of the body on the earth, noticing the hands, arms, noticing the feet and legs, noticing the back of the body, perhaps in contact with the earth, the front of the body, in contact with the air and space of ether around you. Begin to connect with the air around you. Is it cool or warm or somewhere in between? Notice the breath being drawn in from the air around you. Coolness of the air drawing in through the nostrils and the warmer air releasing out through the nostrils. Begin to notice sounds, perhaps the sound of my voice, but also other sounds, sounds within your space, sounds close by, but also all those myriad of sounds from further away. And allow them to reconnect as part of your experience again, as you reconnect with the external, but maintaining this connection to the inner self, loving presence. As you start to return to this physical body, you might start to move and wiggle and stretch. You might take a lovely deep inhale followed by like a sighing breath. Starting to just gently reawaken to the here and the now. When you feel comfortable, allow the eyes to reopen or your gaze to fall upon objects around you, reorienting to your space. And as soon as you feel comfortable and ready, find a comfortable seated position. We'll close practice together, perhaps seated, or you may stay lying down. But bringing the palms together at the heart in Namaskar, bringing together of the palms. Just pressing the thumbs to the heart space. We'll close with 3 rounds of So Hum, and then Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So taking a slow inhale. So Hum. So Hum. So Hum. Taking a slow inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for joining.